This is your complete guide to watching a game at the new home of Everton Football Club. I'll show you everything from buying tickets, how to use public transport to get here, where to grab some food and a pint, and how to have the best time of your life in the blue half of Liverpool. Welcome to the brand new Everton Stadium. Currently known as Hill Dickinson Stadium for sponsorship reasons, this is a shiny modern marvel built on a disused dock on the iconic Liverpool waterfront and holds a capacity crowd of 52,769, and I'm going to show you what an actual Everton matchday is like. The official way to get Everton tickets is through the club's website. Now here's the thing, like most Premier League clubs, it's not straightforward. For men's matches, you'll usually need to be an Everton member, so you'll need to buy a membership before you're even eligible to buy tickets. Membership lasts for exactly one season, and because the demand is so high for the new stadium, you have to apply in a ballot 4 weeks before the match, i.e. they draw your name out of a digital hat. You have to pre-select which price you're willing to pay, and if you're successful, they'll charge your account immediately. If the match isn't sold out after the initial ballot, they'll be available to buy through their website so long as you have a membership. Simply select the game, pick your seat and pay for it, and that's pretty much it. Because Everton use Ticketmaster, the system can be incredibly slow at times. Once you've bought your ticket online, you can put it in your digital wallet or download the Everton app, and once you log in with the details, the ticket will appear on the screen. There are no paper tickets issued anymore, as everything is digital. Women's matches are usually more accessible, and they play at Everton's old home ground at Goodison Park. They're mostly on general sale, and you don't need a membership for women's tickets. But if you're a one-off visitor and don't fancy buying a membership for just one match, and run the risk of not actually getting one, try an official package from a company like sportsbreaks.com. They'll sort you out with a ticket plus hotel stay in one neat package. They even do hospitality lounges if you fancy a premium experience. They're ideal if you're coming from outside Liverpool and don't want to deal with the stress of fighting for tickets online. You just book the package and you're done. Oh, and they do more than just football. Rugby, F1, tennis, anything you want. Links in the description below. If you book with them, tell them you found them through Ultimate Bucket List. So, how do you actually get here? The new stadium is pretty well connected, located at Bramley Moor Dock on the banks of the River Mersey, just north of town. It's a damn sight closer to the Liverpool city centre than their old ground. The biggest warning I can give you is that it's located on Regent Road, aka the Dock Road. This means that matchday traffic will be horrendous. So, if you're driving, good luck. Parking is extremely limited around Bramley Moor Dock, and all of the free car parking spots that used to exist around the area have been changed to permit holders only or short parking times on match days. If you absolutely must drive, park in a cheap all-day car park somewhere near the city centre, then just walk to the stadium. If you're arriving by train, you'll arrive at either one of three main train stations: Moorfields, Central, or Liverpool Lime Street. You can walk to the ground from here, but if you need a shorter walk, get on the train that will take you to Sand Hill Station, which is about a 10-minute walk to the northeast of the stadium. There are special matchday shuttle buses that operate to and from Everton on match days. I'll leave the bus numbers on the screen now. All tickets cost £2, and please note, these only operate 2 hours before and after kickoff. Normal commuter buses pass by here also. Far too many to name, so I'll put them on the screen now. Taxis and rideshares will drop you off close to the stadium, but bear in mind all the roads around the stadium close 2 hours before kickoff, so be prepared to walk the last bit. I decided to walk it from the city centre, as it's only a mile and a half and it didn't take me all that long. Whatever method you choose, I recommend that you get here at least 2 hours before kickoff, as the closer you are to kickoff, the more congested it becomes. Don't get here too early though. They only opened the gates to the stadium around 3 hours before kickoff, and doors only open 2 hours before kickoff, so there's no point arriving 4 hours beforehand, otherwise you'll be waiting around outside doing nothing like these guys. So, you've arrived, but what's there to do here? When you decide to enter the stadium area, you'll be security searched at the gates away from the stadium. Once through a metal detector, one bag search, and one physical search. I recommend that you travel lightly, it speeds things up massively. When you walk around the stadium, you'll notice that it's bloody massive. They've made amazing use of the old buildings that used to be here. It's a super modern stadium, but it's decorated to be very industrial. It looks like a dock worker building, but I suppose that's the idea. It's a nod to the city's maritime history. Outside, you'll find plenty of places to eat, pop-up food stalls, burger vans, bespoke eateries, etc. And there's no shortage of places where you can buy pints. You'll be entertained by live music, and it's a nice place to hang out before the match. The biggest thing you'll notice here on the east stand is the Everton Club shop. And wow, it's a massive shop. Complete with the famous Little Woods clock, this is a shop where you can buy all things Everton. From hats, to scarves, to shirts, and anything in between. I recommend going to the second floor, where you'll get this amazing view of the outdoor concourse, and there's a small museum of game-worn Everton items. Rooney! There's a ticket office, but they mainly help with ticketing issues rather than selling actual tickets, as most games at Everton are sold out weeks in advance. If you walk around to the south stand, you'll find hundreds of people staring at the floor? If you're wondering why they're doing this, it's because these fans have paid to have their names engraved into the brick here, alongside some of the club's legends. Howard Kendall, Dixie Dean. It's pretty cool to walk around and learn all about Everton's history by reading the floor. It also provides some strange but cool photo opportunities, and this stretches the entire length of the stand. At the west side, you'll find the Everton fan wall, which is this mural made up of thousands of fans' photos. It's pretty cool how they do this. It's also here where the players will enter the stadium, roughly 2 hours before kickoff. So, if you want to say hi to Moisey and all the players, this will happen between gates 5 and 6. However, it's crowded, and unless you're near the front, you won't see anything. And you can't cross the barrier, so you'll have to walk all the way around if you need to get to the other side. There's nothing at the north stand, it's basically just a walkway. Unlike other football grounds that have many entertainment amenities around the stadium, Hill Dickinson Stadium is built on a disused dock, and thus there's not that much around it. Once you've entered the stadium area, you're pretty much at the mercy of what Everton Football Club provides for you, and it's not bad at all. But if you're after a little variation and you want a proper English pub, the obvious choice is across the street, the Bramley Moor. This is the new home of Everton's hardcore bloodthirsty supporters, and it's a lively venue, but very much a retro drinkers pub. Modern, it is not. If you're after something a bit more upmarket, head to the Invisible Wind Factory, Murphy's Distillery, and my personal favourite, 10th Street Social. Really cool place to drink and hang out before the game, and it's not at all claustrophobic like the others. There's also the world famous Titanic Hotel. It's a hotel, but the bar is pretty lively, but you do need a reservation to enter. If you want my advice, head into town first. Liverpool city centre is packed with fantastic places to eat and drink, and the prices are actually quite reasonable for a major UK city centre. The areas around the Cavern Quarter, with all of those famous and iconic pubs, Antilla Black, and Liverpool One shopping centre, which literally has all the kind of food and drink that you could want. It even has another Everton club shop, just in case you want more merchandise. Everton 2, Liverpool 1. It never gets old. So if I were you, entertain yourself in town first and then arrive 2 hours before kickoff. You're halfway through the video and you know what that means. I'm giving away this bag of Everton stuff that I bought from the Everton Stadium store. Stick around to the end of the video to find out how you can win it, but in the meantime, back to the video. Alright, you're here, you've had some food and a pint and picked up some souvenirs, it's time to go inside. Make sure you've got your digital tickets, which will tell you your gate number. Once you're at the gate, enable the NFC on your phone and push it into the turnstile. Once the light goes green, walk through and you're in. It's literally that easy. Inside, the concourses are brand new, spacious, modern and full of food and drink stalls. Again, they've made it look modern but industrial. It's almost grungy, but I quite like it. I particularly like the areas where you can enjoy a pint overlooking the Liverpool skyline. The prices are actually very reasonable for a stadium, and there's many different themed food options here. There's also many bars, a self-service option where you can serve yourself alcohol if you don't want to wait in a queue. There's even a self-service supermarket, where you scan your credit card at the entrance and it automatically charges you once you walk out with the items that you want. Bring your contactless credit or debit card because the stadium is totally cashless. And when you walk to your seat, you'll notice that it's a really well designed stadium. There's not a bad seat in the house. Hill Dickinson Stadium is designed so that everyone has an amazing view, but that means that the seat heights can be pretty steep. It's obvious when you walk to the very top of the stadium. I need to join a gym by the way, but from up here you can see how steep the seating actually is.
So guys, I'm on the back row, literally where all the media sits. It's literally the highest part of the stadium and this is the view. It's actually not bad.
So whilst I'm up here, let me show you around the place. The stand with the biggest atmosphere is the South Stand. It's the new version of the old Gladys Street end. This is where you'll find all the hardcore Everton supporters. Opposite that is the North Stand, where you've got the best view of the Liverpool skyline. The West and East stands offer the best view of the pitch, but it consists of a lot of hospitality suites and seats. So the lower sections here are probably the best seats in the house, but you will be paying for them. This is my seat for today, right in the northeast corner. It's not the best seat I could have gotten, thanks to Ticketmaster's glitchy booking system, but hey, at least I'm in. If you're up high, you'll still have a great view, but try and get a lower tier seat, or sit at the front 5 rows of the upper tier for the best experience. One thing I love about the new stadium is how they've kept it traditional but made it more comfortable. The seats are wider, there's more leg room, and there are no pillars in your way, unlike at Goodison Park. The players will usually come out to warm up about 40 minutes before kickoff, so there's no need to be in your seat before then. It's a good chance to get up close to the players before the game, but only if you're sat at the lower level. If you're in the upper level, like me, there's no way to get down there. The giant TV screens and the LED video boards make a massive difference. When the teams emerge from the tunnel, the whole stadium erupts to one of the most recognisable anthems in English football. I know some people say that Everton haven't had much to celebrate in recent years, but trust me, the atmosphere in here is still magic. Now I'm here at the pre-season friendly against AS Roma, and the place is at full capacity. In this game, it's a cagey start, but Everton are the team taking the early initiative. That lasts for approximately 9 minutes, before Mykolenko goes down early with an injury, and a forced substitution causes AS Roma to attack aggressively. They almost come close several times, but the ever-reliable Jordan Pickford keeps them out repeatedly. Everton are happy to attack early, AS Roma are happy to just sit back and get them on the counter. Neither side can find a way through, and at half-time it's Everton 0, AS Roma 0. In the second half, it's more of the same, but after a few ill-advised substitutions on Everton's part, AS Roma keeps hammering on the door, until eventually 1-0 to AS Roma. The few fans who have travelled from Rome are certainly loving it now. With a slender lead, AS Roma are happy to absorb the pressure, and whilst Everton come close several times, AS Roma end up winning the match at a canter 1-0. And on this particular day, they were also holding a Legends match immediately after the game, which gave me the chance to sit in the lower half of the stadium. It definitely comes recommended if you like to be closer to the action. Don't get me wrong, the view from the upper tier is still good, but down here is way better. The Everton Legends end up winning 2-0. When the final whistle blows, most fans head back towards Hill Station or into one of the bars outside of the stadium for a few more pints. If you're not in a rush, hang around for 30 to 40 minutes, because the queues become a lot smaller. Use that time to grab some food or just walk along the waterfront and take in the views of the Mersey. It really is a gorgeous stadium, and I'm happy that long-suffering Everton fans have a new place to call home. And whilst we're talking about Everton fans, you'll meet some of the most friendly people here. It's definitely true what they say, the nicest people in the city of Liverpool all wear blue. So, if you're an Everton fan, or just a football fan in general, watching a match here at the new Hill Dickinson Stadium is something you have to do once in your life. Add this to your ultimate bucket list and you won't be disappointed. Okay Nin, I'm sold. What do I need to do? Well, you need to come here to the Hill Dickinson Stadium. I've already mentioned how to get your tickets through Everton's website. And if you can't be bothered with that, try sportsbreaks.com for a stress-free package. Tickets fluctuate in price depending on the type of game and the opponent, and can vary wildly from £18.78 at the top of the North Stand all the way up to £71 for the best seats in the house. I've also mentioned all the ways to get here, but in short, get here early by taking the train to Sandhills and walking 10 minutes. Use the buses if that's easier, and if you have to drive, park in an all-day car park and walk. If you're looking for a place to stay, there are various hotel chains along the Dock Road, but your best bet is to find a hotel in the city centre, as the hotel prices in Liverpool are reasonable, and there's much more entertainment options in town. Is there anything else I need to know? Yes. When you're inside the stadium, you won't get any phone signal because of the amount of people there. So, be sure to connect to the free Wi-Fi inside the stadium in order to make calls and receive messages. It's a cashless stadium, and you won't be able to buy anything without a contactless credit or debit card. As with all football stadiums in the United Kingdom, it is illegal to consume alcohol within sight of a professional football pitch, so unfortunately you cannot drink at your seat. Also, due to the Premier League's baggage policy, keep your bag under an A4 size sheet of paper, as you won't be allowed in with bags any bigger. The roads are painful when it's congested, so take your time and be patient when arriving or leaving the stadium. And if you are visiting Liverpool but need some practical travel advice, check out my popular Liverpool City Guide right here. I hope this inspires you to book your tickets to watch the Everton here at their new home. And if you have enjoyed this video or found it useful, please do like, share and subscribe. Comment below with any questions and tweet me with other bucket list ideas, and I'll see you in the next episode. Right, it's competition time guys, and I'm giving you the chance to win this goodie bag from the Everton store, which includes a hat, a scarf, a water bottle, and the brand new Everton shirt, whichever one you want in whatever size you want. Click on the link below for your chance to win. Help me share my content and win yourself some merch at the same time. Good luck.
And the best thing of all is that everyone here is super friendly. It's definitely true what they say, that the friendliest people in the city of Liverpool all wear blue. Hey!